A quarterfinal matchup as the Casselton Haymakers will take on the West Fargo Aces. Coverage of the Haymakers in the East Region Tournament is brought to you by Cottonwood Golf Course of Casselton, by Bank North, AIM Ag Drainage. Contact Andrew Frazee at AIM Ag Drainage, by Casselton Veterinary Service of Casselton and Fargo, by Kiefer Tree of Casselton, Gordy's Travel Plaza off I-94 in Mapleton and Casselton, and the Cass County Reporter. Good afternoon from historic and beautiful Jack Williams Stadium in North Fargo. It is the Class A East Region Tournament. Two teams eliminated last night as the West Fargo Vets and the Post 400 Comets losing games as Valley City defeated the Vets 5-1, and the Jets get a pair of runs in the sixth inning to move on, as they will face Wahpeton later today as they beat the Post 400 Comets by a score of 3-1. These two teams met early in the East Region season, and talking with head coach Mitch Shear, he says really two games that the Casselton Haymakers didn't play very well in, but they played back in early June 9th over at Young Field in West Fargo. West Fargo Aces 12-2 win in game one, and then walked off the Haymakers, a late rally by the Haymakers in an 8-7 victory. The Haymakers were down at one point in that game 5-1 and 7-3. 5-1 after 5, 7-3 after 6. Tied it with 4 runs in the seventh. And then the Aces walked them off. 8-7 was the final in that matchup. We'll kind of recap those games once we get a little bit deeper here in our during our broadcast. The Aces finished as the number 3 seed at 12-5, a half game behind Wahpeton. They did not play their regular season finale against the West Fargo Vets as due to rain, and it was last Sunday, so they were kind of up against the clock when it came to trying to get that game in. But really for the Vets and for the Aces, they were not going to go up or down either way in the standings. They were locked in at number 3. Finishing at 12-5 in East Region play. The Haymakers at 8-10, but playing some better baseball down the stretch. The last week or two played much better. Split against Valley City. 2 impressive wins over Wahpeton. Split with the Fargo Bombers as well. So they were 4-2 in their last 6 East Region games. As the starting lineups being introduced right now, they've been introduced. They'll do the American Legion Code of Conduct here, and then the national anthem just ahead of the starting lineups and first pitch. As we'll have the starting lineups in just a matter of moments. This is game 1 today. Game 2 will be coming up at 2:30 with top-seeded Devils Lake taking on number 8 seed, actually 9-seeded Valley City. Then at 5, it'll be 2-seeded Wahpeton and the 7-seeded Fargo Jets. The winner of this game will face the winner of that one tomorrow evening at 5 here at Jack Williams. The losers will play in an elimination game at noon. Kindred and the Fargo Bombers tonight at 7:30. We will take a break, come back with our national anthem and first pitch. We'll do that in 30 seconds. There's a look at our national anthem. As before we get to the starting lineups, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. 10 for legal ID. This is Class E East Region Tournament Baseball. It's right-hander Caden Rademacher taking his warm-up tosses The Haymakers did not see the right-hander during the course of the regular season, as Caden Rademacher, who is goes to high school in Horace, as a 2026 to-be graduate, as the Casselton Haymakers, Mitch Shear, Nick Holm present this starting lineup. Leading off will be the second baseman, Sam Coppervig. Batting second will be the right fielder, Logan Broughton. Batting third at third base, Carter Maggio. Batting fourth in pitching will be Braden Mitchell. Batting fifth in left field, Eli Boer. Batting sixth will be the first baseman, Noah Muckow. Batting seventh in center field, Carter Verkota. Batting eighth in catching will be Cale Pearson. Batting ninth will be the shortstop, Keegan Peterson. The Haymakers in the black tops with the white lettering and numerals. Little red trim in those jerseys as well. White pants with the Haymaker cap with a pitchfork in red in front, the black caps. For the West Fargo Aces, Caden Rademacher on the mound. Kaysen Nordic will be behind the plate. Around the infield, it's Ashton Wigestrand at third base. Jet Collins is at short. Matthew Dick at second base. Toby Rederath is at first. In the outfield from left to right, Noah Betker, Landon Zink, and Austin O'Lee. The Aces are the 16U team as part of West Fargo baseball. The Vets, the 18 or 19U team, they were the number 8 seed and bounced last night by Valley City. That was the only the 2 games. So with 10 teams, in previous years have been 12, with Grand Forks electing to play Junior Legion baseball with their 16U team. And with the Pulse 400 Astros not playing this year, they expected to have a team next year. So it'll be Sam Coppervig to lead things off here against the right-hander Rademacher. Coppervig 1 for 3 against Aces pitching this year. First pitch is high for a ball. And the first pitch at a minute after high noon. Last check, 79 was the game time temperature, but we'll double check to make sure that's correct. From the set all the time is Rademacher in the 1-0. That's flip foul out of play, 1-1 to Coppervig. Make it 80 degrees. South-southeast winds 16 to 27. We're expecting mid to upper 80s today, and it'll be blast furnace material tomorrow with low to mid 90s, at least for the air temperature, and the heat indices might be a little bit higher as Coppervig drills a base hit into right field. Pitch looked like it was up in the zone as he's able to take that the other way. As leadoff single for Coppervig here in Casselton. That'll bring up Logan Broughton.
Right fielder, number 8, Logan Broughton.
So Broughton 2 for 6 against Aces pitching this year. He went 2 for 4, 2 runs batted in the second game on July 9th. Haymakers a productive week last week. Swept Wahpeton in the final week of regular season play. Went down to Lisbon and beat a Lisbon team that's trying to make the Class B tournament today. They'll play Edgeley to try and go to state. Pitch is down and into Broughton and 1-0 the count. 300 down the left field line here at Jack Williams Stadium. 360, actually, he's at 390 to straightaway center, and 300 down the right field line. This historic ballpark. In the background, you might be able to hear the Blue Angels doing a little warm-up work. Throw to first in there. Actually, the pickoff throw gets away down the right field line. It will go into the right field corner as Coppervig takes a turn. He wants to head to third. He makes the turn, and he will reach. Throw looked like if it was that wide or not, but not caught at first by Rederath. And down the right field line, it got into the corner as Coppervig kind of took a peek back and then caught third base coach Nick Holm and said, get on over, and he did. So reaching third there is early chance for the Haymakers, and the delivery is hit in the air to right field. Might be deep enough to get him in. O'Lean towards the corner, makes the catch. Coppervig to tag. Here comes the throw all the way through and not in time. As Coppervig scores, Broughton with a sacrifice fly, and the Haymakers grab a 1-0 lead. So got it done there with a fly ball to right, sacrifice fly for Broughton.
Third baseman, number 1, Carter Maggio.
And that'll empty the bases. They'll clear it with 1 out for Carter Maggio. Third baseman wears number 1. Maggio 2 for 5 with a couple of runs batted in against the Aces so far in the year. And the delivery by Rademacher is low and away, gets away back to the screen for ball 1. 340 to right center field, and I believe 340 as well to left center. We're going to turn that down because we can't compete with the Blue Angels. Nobody can. 1-0 the count. The set and the pitch on the way. Outside ball 2. I know the other night when the Italian aircraft came through parts of Fargo and West Fargo on Monday, they had games over on the south side, and they had to pause for a couple of minutes. They're just trying to play with and through that. Dribbled foul, and it's now 1-2 the count here to Carter Maggio. 1-0 Casselton. Again, the winner of this game will play in the semifinals, if you will, 5 p.m. tomorrow. Loser plays in a loser-out game at noon, trying to keep their season alive. Outside, sweeping breaking pitch from Rademacher missed away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There is a fair amount of room between home plate and the backstop, so got runners on. Anything that gets away to the backstop. A lot of room to try and chase that down. 2-2 the count. Wind basically blowing in kind of south-southeast. It was kind of from center to left. Almost feels like center, maybe even a little bit more to right center if you kind of go by where the flag is pointing. Outside, full count to Maggio. Expecting even windier and warmer tomorrow. Rademacher on 3-2 deals. That is hit in the air to left center field, and carrying over out there for Zink as he ranges over and makes the catch to retire Maggio. And 2 down to the first inning. That'll bring up Braden Mitchell. What was the ballpark? I think it was the old Shea Stadium where the planes would fly over and you'd watch games on TV where you could hear it in the background. It's kind of what we're dealing with here. Mitchell, the batter. Actually, you can see them off in the distance. Pitch is low for a ball to Mitchell. 1-0 the count. Mitchell, 1 for 4 against Aces pitching. 4-hit game against Wahpeton in Game 2 on July 15th. Pitch is high. 1-1 the count. The win at Lisbon, Mitchell had 2 RBI singles, a couple of RBI hits in the first and third inning. 2-0 the count. 1 in for Casselton here in the top of the first. And the delivery inside and hit the knob of the bat, came riding in on the right-handed hitting Mitchell, and it is 2-1 the count. He's headed to Southwestern Community College in Iowa. There have been a lot of guys, even some in the West Fargo program, that has successfully kind of gone through the JUCO route. Foul off to the right now to play. A lot of good junior college baseball, Iowa, Kansas, and the like. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Base is empty, 2 out here in the top of the first inning. Set of the 2-2, missed away, full count, ball 3, 3-2. So a couple of lengthy at-bats here for the right-hander Rademacher. Back with Mitch here, going with Mitchell today, and this is kind of have to evaluate to see how the plan will be for Friday. They've kind of got a plan, dribbled foul, and 3 balls and 2 strikes. For the Haymakers, you've got Carter Maggio and Jackson Parker. Owen Cates is a guy that can be relied upon. You could potentially play up to 4 games if you avoided the play-in round. And the Haymakers, up until maybe about a week ago, thought they might be in that play-in round last night. 3-2 in the delivery. Hammered out to short. Nice play at short there by Collins. Jet Collins on to first in time. Throw wide, but able to stretch and keep his foot on the bag right around to retire Mitchell. And that'll do it for the Haymakers here in the top of the first inning. They get a run. 1 run on 1 hit. 1 costly error on the errant pickoff throw at first, and nobody left on. We'll get to the Aces batting order when we come back. Half inning complete here from the Class A East Region American Legion Baseball Tournament. Casselton 1. The West Fargo Aces coming to bat in half a minute. So an early lead here for the right-hander Braden Mitchell. Mitchell, who threw a gem in his last outing in a win over Wahpeton. Starting lineup here for the West Fargo Aces. Leading off will be the center fielder Landon Zink. Batting second, the right fielder Austin O'Lean. Batting third at shortstop Jet Collins. Batting fourth at first base Toby Rederath. Batting fifth at second base Matthew Dick. Batting sixth, the designated hitter Ethan By. He'll DH for the pitcher Caden Rademacher. Batting seventh and catching Kason Nordic. Batting eighth, the left fielder Noah Betker. Batting ninth will be the third baseman Ashton Wigestrand. Defensively for Casselton, Braden Mitchell taking his warm-up tosses. Fired a shutout in his last outing. A 10-0 win over Wahpeton. Cale Pearson behind the plate. Carter Maggio is at third base. Keegan Peterson at shortstop. Sam Coppervegas at second. Noah Muckhouse at first. In the outfield, Eli Bohr in left. Carter Verkota in center. Logan Broughton in right. Landon Zink will lead things off here. Left-handed hitting center fielder for the Aces in the white jerseys with the orange lettering and numerals. Actually, the lettering is the dark green, the forest green, but you've seen West Fargo level from youth all the way up to Legion ball. Green and orange. Green for the Packers, orange for the Mustangs. You have to blend something in for the Horace Hawks. Strike one to Zink as Mitchell comes back and deals. There's a chopper to first, and by Muckhouse down the right field line. That could be trouble. That goes all the way deep into the right field corner. Zink for two. It's picked up deep in right field by Broughton, and that second will be Zink. We'll see how they score that. And it'll be an error. Thumbs down, says Ryan Peralt, and it'll be an error charge to Muckhouse at first. In the two meetings this year, the Haymakers made a combined 6 errors, 2 in game 1, 4 in game 2. Another left-handed hitter in Austin O'Lean to the plate. O'Lean 3 for 8 against the Haymakers. He shows bunt, pulls back, pitches high for a ball, and it's 1-0. We're also via the radio, per usual. We're also hooked up to the Fargo Post 2 web stream. They are streaming all the games. We got thumbs up that we're good to go there. 1-0. The delivery. Bunt is in the dirt as a pitch in the dirt. Offering was O'Lean. 2 balls, no strikes the count. Off the line and left is Eli Bohr. Verkota, he began a step or two. He's playing into left center. 2-0. Check of the runner at second. Another peek over to second, and it is outside. Ball 3. May have hit the outside corner, but Pearson had to move the catcher's mitt, so that's almost a dead giveaway. It's probably not a strike. 3-0 the count. Muckhouse into the edge of the grass at first. He comes in another step. Called strike. 3-1. Devils Lake and West Fargo will be next around 2:30. Devils Lake, the number 1 seed. The 3-1 delivery. There's a bunt to the left side and a good one off the mound. It's booted by Mitchell. Picks it up. He'll have no play. He'll throw back to third, and back to the bag goes Zink. So O'Lean will reach. Sacrifice and an error. Error on the pitcher as he, with Maggio going to cover third. It's the pitcher's responsibility. He couldn't handle it cleanly, so it's an error charge to Mitchell and a pair of errors. But runners on the edges with nobody out for the Aces, and that'll bring up Jet Collins. Right-handed hitting shortstop wears number 5. Collins 2 for 5 against the Haymakers this year. Pitch is outside. Runner goes. Ball dropped, and O'Lean gets to second on a stolen base. And it's a 1-ball count to Collins. Mitchell, in his outing against the Aces this year, struggled. He went just an inning, actually an inning plus, didn't retire anybody in the second. And the 1-0 delivery. There's a ground ball out to second. A run will score, fielded by Coppervig. On to first in time as Zink scores. It's an RBI ground out for Collins, and the game is tied at 1. To third goes O'Lean. That'll bring up Toby Rederath. The first baseman wears number 14. Mitchell went just an inning in his outing against the Aces on June 9th in the dirt, knocked down nicely by Cale Pearson in ball 1. Went an inning, 2 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned. Control was the problem. He walked 5 and struck out 1. Infield about halfway up the middle for Casselton on the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a dribbler up the third base line and foul. Might have got him in the batter's box. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Coverage brought to you by Gordy's Travel Plaza, I-94, Casselton and Mapleton by the Cass County Reporter. Also brought to you by Kiefer Tree Service. We'll have the Haymakers either at noon or at 5, depending how it goes today. Here on 103.9 The Truck and 103.9thetruck.com. 1-1 down the right field line. It goes and fouled off the bat of Rederath. That goes as they have seating behind home plate and then seating, kind of elevated seating up the first base line. And then there are bleachers over in the right field corner, and those are popular right now because they're shade. 1-2 on the delivery. Line and fair. No, just fouled down the third base line. Didn't miss by much. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Could have been extra bases had it stayed fair. We've got wind, we've got planes, we have a little bit of everything for atmosphere. Did you order this, Ryan? 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the delivery by Mitchell. Foul up to the netting and out of play. The Blue Angels were extra. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The air show is this weekend up at Hector International, which is actually not that far away from here off of Elm Street in North Fargo. 1-2 in the delivery. Inside and hit him. On a 1-2 delivery, Rederath grazed by the pitch. He will take his base at first. Runners on the corners with 1 out for Matthew Dick. Goes to school at Horace. Second baseman wears number 1. They'll shade him perhaps to the opposite field. Verkota's a good 4 or 5 steps to the left center, throw to first, and the runner gets back. It's one thing that you have is maybe a little bit different than Casselton and maybe even Youngfield as well. Is a lot more foul territory, especially around the baselines here at Jack Williams. Foul off to the left and out of play by Matthew Dick, and strike 1. And the rest of the schedule today, 2:30, Devils Lake and Valley City will be next. 5 p.m., Wapaton's the 2 seed. The defending Class A champs will face one of the hosts, the Fargo Jets. The 0-1 delivery, runner from first goes, pitches a strike, is throwing all the way through as Pearson goes off the glove of Coppervig. Deflected right to Keegan Peterson, who aptly backed up the play. Stolen base for Rederath. Holding third is O'Lean. And it's now 2 strikes to Matthew Dick. Haymakers infield about halfway, not fully in. And the delivery. High and away, goes off the mid of Pearson, up the first base line, but no advance by the base runners. And it is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Someone just dropped, looked like off the heel of the catcher's mitt from Cale Pearson. And again, up the first base line a few feet, but I'm not sure if O'Lean saw it or if it was far enough, quite frankly, for an advance. 1-2. Now the flag kind of pointing and blowing in a straightaway center, almost more towards left center. 1-2. Missed outside, 2-2. And that is something with Mitchell, is if he labors, and here's Exhibit A right now, that pitch count can right up fast. Needs a strikeout here. 2-2. Fouled, out of play. And one thing in watching the Aces during the year, they make a lot of contact. Not going to strike out a ton. And plate coverage pretty good as a whole. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the delivery. Line drive to right. Coming in, Broughton will play it on a hop. It's a base hit. O'Lean will score. Does he throw all the way through? No. Cut off by Muckow. To third goes Rederath. And a good piece of 2-strike hitting there from Matthew Dick gives the Aces a 2-1 lead. Out comes Casselton coach Mitch Shear for a visit, but a good job there. Fouled off some 2-strike pitches and delivers a single to right. And now might be a good time for Mitch just to kind of calm everybody down. A couple of errors in the field and kind of a situation here, and says let's tighten things up and keep it at 2. Still very early in the game. We talked about kind of just the plate coverage just in the doubleheader between these teams back early in the year. Just 6 strikeouts by the Aces combined in 2 games. He'll take that. As the batter will be Ethan By, the designated hitter, wears number 21. His first appearance against the Haymakers this season. So runners on the corners again with one out. And the delivery in the dirt. And that one gets away from Pearson. That'll go to the screen. And a run scores. The throw wide of Mitchell. Backed up by Maka off the first base line. Rederath scores. It's now 3-1 West Fargo. To second goes Dick on the wild pitch. And it has been a mess of a first inning here, and the Aces have gladly accepted all the bonus outs. Flip foul out of play by By, and that'll level the count at 1 apiece. Check on the pitch count as Pearson have a word with Braden Mitchell. Right now, 22 pitches unofficially here from Mitchell, 13 strikes. Rademacher had 18 in the top half of the first. Talked about Mitchell's outing against Wahpeton. Also helped his own cause with a home run in that game. Went 2 for 4, but went 6 innings. They won it 6-10-0 over Wahpeton. 2 hits, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. He threw 88 pitches over 6. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at second now with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Set of the pitch. Chopper up the middle. That is into center for a base hit. Here's Dick at third. He'll be held up there as throw back into the cutoff man Muckow, and By delivers a single up the middle. Second hit of the inning. And runners back again at the corners with 1 out for Kason Nordic. Nordic 2 for 3 with 4 walks. He has reached base 6 times against Haymakers pitching this year. We had 2 hits, 2 walks, including a double and an RBI in Game 1 back on June 9th. He has an RBI chance here. Again, runners on the corners. 1 out, 3 in for the Aces and a 3-1 lead. And the pitch. Low and away, ball 1. Final game tonight, 4-5 matchup has the 4-seeded Fargo Bombers against 5-seeded Kindred post 117. The Vikings lost to the Bombers twice back in late June in Kindred. 1-0 on the pitch. Foul off to the right, now to play in 1-1. And for Kindred baseball, it's a busy time. The B team is at the Junior Legion tournament, which is being played in Jamestown. In fact, they're playing right now. In fact, that game might be over. We'll check here if we get a moment. And then Babe Ruth team getting ready for the state Babe Ruth tournament in Class B in Carrington tomorrow. Good pitch, off-speed delivery, changing speeds there, and it's 1-2. And was talking with Mitch Shear, Casselton coach, before the game about Mitchell's fastball is good, but his last couple of starts, his command on his other pitches has really made the difference. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Set of the delivery. Upstairs, 2-2 the count. His off-speed and his breaking stuff, command was really good against Wahpeton, and even though he lost against Valley City on July 9th, honestly, he pitched very well in that game too. 2-2 on the pitch. Ground ball wide of third and foul. We'll try it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Going to be windy today, maybe windier tomorrow with more heat. Low 90s, and the heat indices expected to be mid to upper 90s. Throw to first to the runner back. And warm, maybe not quite as windy on Saturday. 3-2, we'll see if Ethan By is moving. He extends out his lead at first.
Where you guys at?
He does not go, and it's outside, ball 4. Actually, correction on the count, that was 2-2. Now, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now we'll see if By is moving. Bohr more into left center. He looks to be the deepest of the 3 outfielders out there for Casselton. Set, runner from first does not go. Overhand breaking pitch and got him looking for strike 3. He might have been sitting on a fastball and didn't get it. He pulled out Uncle Charlie as Nordic caught looking. 2 away in the second. That'll bring up Noah Betker. Betker 0 for 2 against Haymakers pitching. Left-handed hitting left fielder wears number 12. And the delivery. Popped up foul off to the left and out of play for strike one. They adjusted the schedule to try and have, and as the host, you have that right to do that, to have the host teams play the night games. And the delivery on 0-1. Here's a ground ball in the hole. Base hit left field. Matthew Dick will score. On to second goes Ethan Buys. An opposite field single for Betker, makes it a 4-1 Aces lead. Just out of the reach of Maggio and through on the left side. Ninth batter of the inning is Ashton Wigestrand. Wigestrand 0 for 6. A couple of runs scored against Haymakers this year. Ninth batter here in the bottom of the first inning. Mitchell deals. Strike, 0-1. Good contingent of Haymakers fans, most of them congregating right behind home plate. The red blends in here. 0-1 on the delivery. Outside, red and black fits in with the color scheme here at Jack Williams. 1-1 the count. So second and first now. They'll play behind the trail base runner in Betker. And the delivery by Mitchell. It's a swing looped into right field, playable. And back a step, Logan Broughton to make the catch. That'll retire the side, but the Aces bat around here in the bottom of the first inning. West Fargo 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and there were 2 runners left on. And we'll get you the unofficial pitch count here for Braden Mitchell. Mitchell 34 unofficial total through 1 inning of play. We're through 1 here at Jack Williams Stadium in Fargo. It is the Class A East Region American Legion Baseball Tournament. It's the West Fargo Aces 4, Casselton 1. We're back in 30 seconds. Of the year is really finished strong in East Region play in the month of July. Swept Valley City, split with the post 400 Comets. Eli Bohr to lead things off here for the Haymakers in the top of the second. Check swing, called strike anyway, and it's 0-1. Eli 0 for 6 with a run scored in RBI against the Aces this year. 12-2 and 8-7 the Aces were victorious back on June 9th. At Young Field. Down low, and it's 1-1 the count. Mentioned the Junior Legion tournament. It's a 6-team tournament. Fargo Flyers, which is a team affiliated with Post 2, is in that tournament, as is the Kindred B team. Swing and a miss in 1 and 2. I was talking with Mitch Shear. Casselton probably at some point may have 2 Legion teams if the numbers are needed for that, or basically would be justified to have a second team. They did a couple of years back. It's a question, do you go and play in the Class B, or do you try the Junior Legion variety? 1-2. Hit the air to center field. Actually, it's a pop-up back of short. It wasn't hit as well as initially thought there, as it's caught by the shortstop Collins. Right off the end of the bat, there's one away here in the second. That'll bring up Noah Muckow. Muckow homered against Wahpeton back on the 15th. Muckow in the Haymakers last game at Lisbon on the 18th went 0 for 2 with a walk. 4-1 Aces here in the top of the second inning. 3 versus 6 as far as the seeds go. Missed away. Good fastball missed just outside 1-1 the count. Last week for the Aces went 3-1, facing both Post 2 teams, split with the Bombers and swept the Jets. strike, and it's 1-1 the count. And they were supposed to play the West Fargo Vets Sunday, but a quick deluge of rain that hit late afternoon, early evening Sunday in parts of West Fargo. That game was not made up. Here's the 1-1. Talked about earlier. As the pitch misses outside to muck out 2-1. Neither team was going up or down to the standings if that game was if the game was played, so they elected to just not play it. Seeds stayed the way they were. Pitch is low, 3-1 the count to muck out. Verkota on deck. One out here, nobody on the top of the second. Pitch from Rademacher, swing and a miss. Run cut there for Muckow, 3 balls and 2 strikes. You have to really drive one through the wind to hit a ball over somebody's head or over the fence today. 3-2, and stepping off Rademacher. So maybe down the line, 300 down the left field line towards the Red River of the North. 3-2. Inside out swing popped up, might be playable. Foul ground, chasing, and that lands in the Aces dugout as Rederath and the catcher Nordic after it. Landed in the first base dugout, and everybody know worse for wear down the right field line. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll try it once more here to Noah Muckow. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat coming. Talked about Mitchell over 30 pitches in the first inning. Rademacher currently at 28, and a swing and a miss here. It's his first strikeout. He fans Muckow on a fastball just on the outer half of the plate. He has set down 5 in a row. That'll bring up Carter Verkota. Center fielder wears number 3. Verkota 3 for 5 against Aces pitching this year in the delivery. Fastball strike, and it's 0-1. 4 teams out of each region. The West region is underway. It got underway, I believe, yesterday. 4 out of the West, 4 out of the East. Top 4 will congregate in Mandan starting August 1st for the state Class A tournament. Last year was in Kindred. East went 1, 2, and 3. Wahpeton, Kindred, and the Haymakers in that order. The Haymakers, 2 years removed from the Class A state title, beat the Fargo Jets out at Watford City. Here's the 0-2. And the error to shallow right could be trouble. Long run. That is going to drop between 3 defenders and in for a base hit. Out of the reach of Dick from second, Rederath from first, and Austin Oline from right field. It's a bloop single for Verkota. And hit number 2 for Casselton. That'll bring up Cale Pearson. Pearson 1 for 5, a double and 2 runs batted in against Aces pitching this year. Pearson at Lisbon went 0 for 3 with a run scored. They beat Lisbon post 7-5-4. Here's the set and the delivery. Chopper in the hole, through base hit left field. Just out of the reach of a diving Wigestrand at third. The second goes Verkota, and Cale Pearson first pitch swinging. Delivers a 2-out base hit, and the line will move as next up, Keegan Peterson. Shortstop wears number 6 as Pearson will be lefted for a courtesy runner. As that will be Jack Everson to run. Number 10, Jack Everson to run at first. Keegan Peterson. And an RBI single at Lisbon last Thursday. Went 1 for 3. 2-run single against Wahpeton back on the 15th. They've incorporated him more in the lineup as the season has progressed. Set in the delivery. Down low for a ball. And it is 1-0 the count. Mentioned the Haymakers played went through a kind of a tough stretch there late June into early July. Got swept by the Vets at home. And then slowly kind of turned things around. 1-0 the pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Again, The sweep over Wahpeton opened the door to get out of the play-in round, and they needed some help and got just that from the Fargo Jets and the West Fargo Vets to slide into the 6th spot and avoid the winner go home first round yesterday. 1-1, swinging a foul at the plate, and it's 1-2. Where the Aces were kind of locked in at 3. They had a chance with Wahpeton. They had a doubleheader with Wahpeton, July 9th split. Wahpeton had the tiebreaker on run differential between the two teams. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Another glance at the runner at second. Ground ball to third, behind the bag, knocked out at third. Race to the base in time as Wakestrand the play. And beat Vercoda to third base, and that'll end the inning. 2-out rally comes just short for the Haymakers here in the top of the 2nd inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they strand a pair as we're through an inning and a half from Jack Williams Stadium. The airplanes doing their thing around the ballpark here in the Class A East Region Legion Baseball Tournament. It's West Fargo 4, Casselton 1. We're back in 30 seconds. For the West Fargo Aces, welcome back. Brad Anderson here. Jeremy McIntyre back at our studios. 1039 The Truck, and also the Fargo Post 2 YouTube page as they are streaming all the action, every game in this tournament. Let's see, 2 yesterday, 4, and 14 games in 4 days. The crew here with Post 2 is in charge of this year for the East Region Tournament. The AA State Tournament starts Monday across town at Starion Bank Field. 10 teams. Seeds aren't quite set yet there. Post 2 will be the number 1 seed. The play-in games are set for Monday. Dickinson against Jamestown and Grand Forks against Williston. Top of the order, Landon Zink. A ground ball to first, booted by Muckow, went to the right field corner. He eventually scored. First pitch from Mitchell is ball 1. He needs a quick bounce back inning here as the Aces took advantage. Couple of errors. 3 hits in that first inning. The delivery. And missed away. Ball 2, 2-0. Command just has not been there yet for Mitchell. 2-0 pitch. There's a strike, 2-1. Line to the 2-1 delivery. Swing and a miss and 2-2. I'm trying to recall who the 4th team out of the East was last year. He had Casselton, Kindred, and Wahpeton. I believe it was the Vets. The Vets beat the Astros. I believe it was the Astros last year, post 400, to try and go to state. Ball low, 3-2 the count. The East has fared very well once you get into the state tournament. 3-2 pitch. It is down low, lost in ball 4. Leadoff walk. Mitchell has walked 1 and hit 1 so far. Leadoff man on for Austin O'Lean. O'Lean bunting in his first plate appearance. Bunt to the left side of the infield. Mitchell couldn't field it cleanly and charged with an error. Pitch is in the dirt and ball 1 the count. But the East has had quite a bit of success once we kind of get into the state tournament. 19 Kindred beating the Fargo Jets in a thriller. 1-0 and the delivery. Strike, and it is 0-1. Casselton of the Jets got to the finals in 22. Last year, Wahpeton and Kindred. Again to the East. It looks to be a free-for-all. Throw back to first and the runner back. Devils Lake had a pretty good season high school-wise in the EDC. A strong summer season, the number 1 seed. The Haymakers, again, just kind of shows you the depth as the runner goes. Got a good jump, line drive, right center field, and into the alley. That'll drop in for a base hit. Zink didn't break stride. He gets to third. It's an RBI, or a single for Olin on a hit and run. Well executed there. And an RBI chance for Jet Collins. Runners on the corners and nobody out.
Down to bat, shortstop, 5, Jeff Collins.
That ball was hit well. You could tell the wind really knocked that down as it dropped into right center field. But Zink, able to locate the ball, never broke stride as he made his way to third without any trouble. Collins, RBI ground out in his first at-bat, throw to first, and the runner back in time. Last night, Valley City beat the West Fargo Vets 5-1. Ethan Miller went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, walked 3, struck out 2. Gavin Gerhardt, nice job in relief, 2 1/3 innings. Runner from first goes, pitch inside, throw all the way through, and caught behind the bag by Peterson. And Olin is safe at second with a stolen base. Ball 1 to Collins. Haymakers will bring the infield in, and the 1-0. It is outside, 2-0 the count. And in game 2 last night, tight one with the Jets and the Comets. That was the 7-10 game. 2-0 pitch. A drive down the right field line that will land foul in the home team bullpen, and 2-1 the count. Jets got 2 in the 6th and beat the Comets 3-1. Brady Hecker actually pitched for Post 400 last year. Got the win, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 4 walks. High chopper out to short, played by Peterson. The runners will stay put, throw to first in time. And there's the first out. Contact play was not on with nobody out. That'll bring up Toby Rederath. Hecker went 6. Ethan Eibach the 7th to finish up. Gavin Jiskra the loss for the Comets, 3-1. The Jets guaranteed at least 2 more. Chopper foul, wide of third by Rederath and strike 1. Got hit on a 1-2 pitch, eventually came around to score in the first inning. Eli Board off the line about medium deep and left, for the most part straight away as Verkota in center. Squeeze play is on, they missed it, and the tag at the plate, and the runner is out. Pitch was down and into the squeeze. As dashing for the plate was Zink. It was down and in, handled cleanly by Pearson, and a quick tag on the sprinting and sprawling Zink coming by for out number 2. Olin stays put at second, and a ball to Rederath, couldn't get the bunt down, and it's 1-1. So Pearson, that's a lot of moving pieces coming at you. You got to catch it, and you know that base runners barreling down the alley. 1-1 on the delivery, and the dirt. Nice backhanded stop by Pearson, 2-1. And he did that all flawlessly for the tag. Again, it goes back to interviewed Jackson Parker during the high school season after one of the Region 1 tournament games. He just talked about glowing terms about Cale Pearson, just how he catches a game and just baseball IQ very high. 2-1, ground ball wide of third and foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he stayed calm back there. Again, there's a lot of moving pieces, and it looked like he had done that before. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Olin at second and 2 out. The Haymakers 1 out away from a bit of an escape act here. Swing and a miss, and held for strike 3 by Pearson, and that'll end the inning. So second and third, nobody out, and the Aces come up empty here in the bottom of the second inning. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 left on. We're through 2 from Jack Williams Stadium in North Fargo. Class A East Region Legion Baseball Tournament. It's the West Fargo Aces 4, Casselton 1. We're back with more in 30 seconds. Red Baron sails by. It's 4-1 as we are headed to the top of the third inning. Braden Mitchell, 53 pitches through 2. Meantime for Caden Rademacher, 37 through 2 innings of work. But second and third, nobody out. Haymakers bring the infield in. The failed squeeze bunt certainly helped them out, but they were able to escape damage. And you can see the Plains are just kind of making a run. They're kind of to our south and west. No, they've had the air show a couple of years ago. They came out to rural Cass County. You could see and hear them out Casselton and Mapleton way a couple of years ago. As the top of the order here for Casselton in the top of the third inning. Sam Coppervig singled, went to third on an errant pickoff throw, and scored on Logan Broughton's sacrifice fly. Called strike at its 0-1. 3 hits so far for the right-hander Rademacher. And the delivery, that one misses down and away as it's a 1-1 count. Broughton and Maggio will follow here for the Haymakers in the third. One pitch. It is inside, just missing inside. 2-1 the count. 1 strikeout. Out walked a batter and then around the plate. Haymakers has a whole pretty good contact lineup. 2-1 pitch. Took something off and missed away. Ball 3. 3-1 the count. And a couple of 3-ball counts in the first to Maggio and Mitchell, and I'm trying to work from behind here against Sam Coppervig, the lone 19-year-old in the Casselton roster. Popped up here out to shallow right field. As starting on the outfield grass, coming back in a step is first baseman Rederath to make the catch. And the wind really, I'll say, playing tricks on some balls, but it's the quote-unquote routine, not so much. One away here in the third for Logan Broughton. Sacrifice fly to right in his first at bat. So the loser-out games for the first 2 tomorrow, the noon and 2:30 games up high, and it's 1-1. The 5 and 7:30 games, essentially the semifinals, you win those, you're in the championship, but more importantly, you know you're headed to state next week out at Mandan. 1-0 in the delivery, swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. And then those first 2 Saturday, which are essentially state qualifiers, always interesting games. And then the 2 winners of those will play essentially for the 3 and 4 seeds also on Saturday. There's a swing and a ground ball out to short, booted, picked up, throwing back on to first, not in time. A spin there by Collins. He couldn't handle it cleanly. And Broughton's on with the second error of the game charged to the Aces this afternoon. That'll bring up Maggio. Flying to center in his first at bat. And this early in the game, down 3, how aggressive are the Haymakers in getting to the middle of the lineup? Both Maggio and Mitchell hit well at the end of the regular season. Pitch is low for a ball. A couple of 3-hit games for Maggio in the doubleheader sweep over Wahpeton on the 15th. Maggio also had an RBI, did not have a hit, but RBI and a ground out against Lisbon last Thursday. Throw to first and the runner back. 4-1 Aces lead here in the top of the third. First of 4 today from Jack Williams Stadium in Fargo. Runner does not go. Pitch is low. Ball 2. 2-0 to Maggio. Six hits total for Maggio, 3 in each game against Wahpeton on the 15th. Mitchell had 6, 2 in game 1, including a homer, and then went 4 for 4 in game 2. Pitch is low and away, and 3-0 the count. And sometimes momentum in this game can go in-game, sometimes in half innings, as the delivery is a strike, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike the count. situation in the bottom of the second where we saw the Aces had a chance to add on and didn't. We'll see if Casselton can pack their way back. Throw to first, and a close play at first. Trying to extend out of that lead was Broughton, and got back in just in time. 3-1. The count here to Maggio. Mitchell's on deck. Slightly open stance for Maggio, and that's fouled up to the netting. And 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got the netting and then kind of protective netting, which almost acts like a basket for foul balls hit straight back. 3-2. Straight away and left is Betker. Good lead by Broughton. We watch him. He goes. It's hit in the right center field, into the alley, on the run, and it's out of the reach of the center fielder, Zink. He'll chase it down in deep right center field. Broughton at third. He'll be waved in by Mitch Shear. The throw goes back in left side of the infield. They'll try and get Maggio at third. There's the tag, and he's out at third. Broughton scores as the throw from Zink at center overshot the cutoff man, went bouncing on the left side of the infield where it was picked up by Wigestrand, and it became a race to see who would maybe get to third, but Wigestrand got the tag on Maggio. So it's a double and an RBI. As Broughton off with a pitch, scored is into the gap and out of the reach of Zink. It's a 4-2 Aces lead. The base is empty now, and a foul by Mitchell for strike 1. So it's a double. I think that's just going to be, I believe, maybe 8-5, because I think he overshot the cutoff man. I thought they'd maybe go to second. They went to the left side of the infield in a weird way. It worked out just fine for the Aces. Fundamentally was not what you wanted, but I guess in the end they got an out of all that. 2 strikes to Mitchell, grounded to short in his first at bat. And the delivery. Pitch down and in. Good take there by Mitchell, able to lay off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A double and a run batted in for Carter. A little deeper in left and center in the outfield with Betker and Zink. O'Lean more on the shallow end and right. 1-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat, fly ball out to shallow right center, as it will be the right fielder O'Lean. He calls off second baseman Matthew Dick, and O'Lean makes the catch to retire Mitchell. And Casselton retired here in the third. They get a run on 1 hit. A run on 1 hit. There was 1 error and nobody left through 2.5 here at Jack Williams Stadium in Fargo. It's the West Fargo Aces 4, Casselton 2. Class A East Region. Legion Tournament Baseball continues in 60 seconds. Five, 6, and 7 in the batting order here for the West Fargo Aces. To face Braden Mitchell. That one bounces away in ball 1. Aces should be all rested here as just their last games last Friday against the Fargo Jets. They used just 2 pitchers. Complete game wins for Landon Zink in game 1 and Noah Betker in game 2. The ball makes it 2-0. Mitchell up over 50 pitches so far in this one. 4-1 and actually 4-2 in favor of the Aces. Unofficially, it's 55 for Mitchell and the delivery. Called strike 2-1. Matthew Dick, single to left in his first at bat. Ethan By and Kaysen Nordic to follow. A ball makes it 3-1. Mitchell has walked one, pair of strikeouts. He has also hit a batter. All 4 runs in that first inning unearned as a drive into center out of the reach of Coppervig, and that'll drop into right center for a base hit. So 2 for 2 for Matthew Dick. Matthew Dick now 4 for 6 against Casselton pitching this year, but 2 for 2 in game 1 back on June 9th. Leadoff man is on. It's the 3rd straight inning that the Aces have had the leadoff batter reach. Here's Ethan By, singled his first at bat. It's hit number 5 now for the Aces. Coverage brought to you by Gordy's Travel Plaza, Casselton and Mapleton, and by Kiefer Tree Service. Ball 1 to Ethan By. Go to first and the runner back. I wonder how long they're going to make they're making the run. It's been close to an hour now. The air show participants are giving us the free show right now around North Fargo. 1-0 the count. What you hear in the background, that would be what you're getting. 1-0 the delivery. Good pitch there. Off-speed delivery by Braden Mitchell. Striking, it's 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Line drive, that's into left for a base hit. Played on one hop by Bohr. He'll throw to second, and Matthew Dick checks in at second, and RBI or a single for Ethan By. He is also 2 for 2. So those 2, 5, and 6 in the batting order, a combined 4 for 4. 2 on, nobody out for Kaysen Nordic. The Aces had 2 on, nobody out last inning and came up empty. We'll see if the bunt is on here, and he does square. Bunt back, left side of the infield, barehanded by Mitchell. Throw on to first with Coppervig covering is in time for the out. So sacrifice works. Pitcher to second, 1-4 for the first out. Dick goes to third, and Ethan By to second. And that'll bring up Noah Betker, delivered a single in his first at bat. RBI hit for Betker. 2 out hit in the first, capped off the 4-run first inning. Infield in for the Haymakers, and a strike, 0-1. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about. You got out of the sticky jam on the second, got to run back. Now you can't give it back up if you're Casselton. Fouled out of play, and it's now 2 strikes to Betker. Ashton Wigestrand is on deck. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2nd and 3rd. And the pitch. Pitch is low. Knocked down by Cale Pearson. 1-2 the count. And with the wind blowing in as strong as it is, at the bottom of the order, it will essentially have the entire outfield play shallow. So a fly ball to the outfield isn't a sure thing to get a run across. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Contact play is on. Peterson looked to the plate. He'll go to first instead for the out. As scoring is Matthew Dick. 2nd RBI for Betker this afternoon. The Aces make it a 3-run lead once again. It's now 5-2 West Fargo.
Number 9, third baseman, Ashton Wigestrand.
To third goes by, so the contact play was on as Peterson had a quick thought about going to the plate, but thought against it. Decided to swap a run. 4 out. Striking at 0-1 here to Ashton Wigestrand. The runner at third. Mitchell deals. Strike. Changing speeds well there, and it's quickly 0-2. Early on, a big out to try and get here for Braden Mitchell. The delivery. Slowly hit left side, charging at third. Bobbled by Maggio, picks it up, fires on the run, throw wide, and safe as the ball hits the first base sidewall. Scoring is Ethan By, as not a full-fledged collision, but Muckow pats Wigestrand on the shoulder. No harm, no foul there. As an error on a slow roller down to third. As Mitch Shear's going to, I think, talk to either Muckow or the base umpire. I think he's just asking Noah if he's okay, but he might be asking the base umpire if there was Yeah, I think it was just more so, I don't think there was any runner interference there. It's an air charge to Maggio on a slow roll. He bobbled it and then picked it up in midstream, but his throw wide. An error charge to Maggio. A 2-out run makes it 6-2. And there was a play in the game in Lisbon last week for the Haymakers where there was a pop-up up the first baseline. Muckow, the batter heading to first, collided with Muckow at first base. And there was a collision, enough contact that the batter was in that game was kicked out of the game, ejected. Much like you'll see with home plate collisions, I guess, on the base pass collisions, at least in the opinion of the umpire, the base umpire that night prompted that. 1-0 the delivery as popped up here by Landon Zink out to left center field. Drifting out is Verkota, still ranging out to left center. He'll make the catch, and that'll retire the side. So the Aces grab a pair of runs here in the third. They pick up 2 runs on a pair of hits. There was 1 Haymakers error and 1 left on as we are through 3 innings of play from Jack Williams Stadium in North Fargo. It's the Class A East Region Legion Baseball Tournament. It's West Fargo Aces 6, Casselton 2. We're back in half a minute. As we head to the top of the 4th inning, totals after 3. West Fargo Aces 6, Casselton 2, 6 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Aces, 2 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors for the Casselton Haymakers. So let's get to the unofficial pitch counts here through 3 innings of play as Rademacher 55 through 3, Mitchell 71 through 3 innings of play. So we might see what plan B is going to be here for Mitch Shear and Nick Holm and the Haymakers. His pitch count is 105 for the day in Legion Baseball, as it will be for the Haymakers 5, 6, and 7 in the batting order. This is KZTK. Arthur Casselton, Fargo Moorhead, just after 1 p.m. Also via the Fargo Post 2 YouTube page, streaming for the tournament. Dribbled foul and 1 strike the count. Bohr popped to short in his first at bat. So all 4 in the first, I believe, were unearned runs for Mitchell. That second one on the throwing errors, 2 out, should be an unearned run as well. Swing and a miss by Eli and 2 strikes the count. He is headed to Valley City State University. Will play baseball for the Vikings. Rademacher sets and deals on 0-2. There's a good pitch. Curveball over for strike 3, and Bohr knew it. He is caught window shopping for the first out here on the top of the 4th. That'll bring up Noah Muckow. Struck out in his first at bat. The delivery to Muckow, swing and a miss, and strike 1. So the Aces counter the Haymakers' run of the third, and a couple of 2-out runs have loomed large as well. Betker had that big 2-out single in the first, and the throwing error getting the second run across in the third. Ball misses outside, and it's 1-1 the count. And again, as topsy-turvy the Haymakers has been, and really in East Region as well, Casselton won. They went 8-10 in East Region play. They split with top seed Devil's Lake. In fact, Muckow hit a home run in the 7th to win at Devil's Lake in Game 2 back in late June. They swept Wahpeton, or the Aces as well. They split with Wahpeton. I believe split with Devil's Lake as well. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Then also lost to the eventual 10 seed, the Pulse 400 Comets. So Again, depth, parity, whatever you want to call it, this region seems to have it. 2-2 in the delivery. In the dirt, 3-2, and it would not be that far out of the woods to say that maybe a 6 seed like the Haymakers or a 7 or 9 like the Jets or Valley City couldn't find their way into the state tournament. Payoff coming on 3-2. He's had a share of deep counts as Rademacher today. And a swing and a miss. He fans Muckow for the second time this afternoon, 2-away in the 4th inning. Carter Verkota singled in his first at bat. He'll hit with 2 out here in the 4th. Hits for Casselton. Maggio a double. Singles for Coppervig, Verkota, and Cale Pearson. And the pitch out of the way. Dribbled foul, hit Verkota in the batter's box and strike 1. And really for a lot of these guys, kind of the final go-round athletically, whether it be high school or Legion ball for Verkota and Eli Bohr, Maggio among others. 0-1. It's a bouncing ball up the middle, played it short, fielded cleanly by Jet Collins on to first to retire Verkota, and a 1-2-3 inning. It's first 1-2-3 inning for Caden Rademacher this afternoon. The Haymakers go down in order. 3 up, 3 down. We're halfway home, 3.5 complete here at Jack Williams Stadium in North Fargo. It's the Class A East Region Legion Baseball Tournaments. The West Fargo Aces 6, Casselton 2. We're back in 60 seconds. Changes here for Casselton. Keegan Peterson is on to pitch. Other defensive changes. Braden Mitchell will stay in the game. He is in left field. Eli Bohr moves from left field to third. Maggio will move from third to shortstop. And that should be all of it. So the final unofficial pitch count, I believe, was 71 here for Braden Mitchell. 3 innings. 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them unearned. Walked 1 and 2 strikeouts. 71 pitches, unofficially 43 strikes. As the Aces will come to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Keegan Peterson. Austin O'Lean will lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 6 hits so far. All singles for the Aces. Ball 1 to O'Lean. Leadoff man is reached in 3 innings. In fact, all 3 innings of batting. Scored on 2 of them. Striking, it's now 1-1. Peterson, one of the youngsters in this pitching staff of the Haymakers. It is outside 2-1. It's kind of a lot of veteran guys, 18-year-old guys like Parker and Mitchell and Maggio. He's kind of he's the kid of the bunch. Here's the 2-1. Line drive, that's through the hole. Base hit to right, picked up by Broughton. They'll try and throw him out at first, and they did. Broughton did that earlier in the year against Wahpeton. He threw out Caden Kappas, and he just did there on O'Lean. Just your garden variety 9-3 scoring play for the first out. He normally plays shallow and right with the wind the way it is, the wind blowing in. Strong south-southeast wind. Played that just right, and right away had his sights set on getting O'Lean at first. He did. Striking 0-1 to Jet Collins. A couple of ground outs, one knocked in a run in the first. Peterson's job trying to put some goose eggs up there for Casselton outside, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Peterson last pitched last Thursday in Lisbon, 2 scoreless innings, gave up a hit and struck out a batter. Outside, it's now 2-1 to Collins. He's in that game, which kind of really was an exhibition type feel. They used 4 different pitchers in a 5-4 win. Eli Boer got the save in that one as he stranded the tying and go-ahead runs in the 6th and again in the 7th. 3-1 the count here. 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the 4th inning. 6-2 Aces, and there's ball 4. Collins on for the first time. Second walk issued by Casselton pitching this afternoon. Here is Toby Rederath. Coverage brought to you by Bank North, member FDIC. Coverage of the Haymakers also brought to you as well by Cottonwood Golf Course in Casselton. A breezy day for 9 today at Cottonwood in the delivery. Rederath to left. That is hit well, but pulled a mile foul and strike 1. Aces 4 in the first, 2 in the third. Single runs for the Haymakers in the first and third innings. Pearson will have a quick word with his pitcher, Keegan Peterson. Casselton brought up Lucas Christensen, who is one of the top pitchers on the 15U Babe Ruth team, the Black Stockings, but brought him up. Don't know if he'll get any innings on the mound, but he was one of the top pitchers for the Black Stockings. Runner goes, pitch is a strike. Pearson's throw to second, and close play, head first dive, and Collins is safe. Throw on target from Cale Pearson, but Collins in with the head first lunge, and now 2 strikes to Toby Rederath. Matthew Dick, who has 2 hits already, is on deck. The 0-2 pitch. Popped up foul, not a play, and 0-2 the count. The brackets, like again today, they have the 2 post 2 teams play this evening. They kind of, the brackets not going to go, we're not going to look from top to bottom, so to speak, outside 1 and 2. It will once we get to Friday and Saturday's games. But the home team has the right to do that. 1 ball, 2 strikes, as both the Jets and the Bombers will play the evening games. Jets and Wapaton at 5, and the delivery. Little tapper left side of the infield, off the mound. Keegan Peterson sets, throws a strike to first in time to get Rederath. To third goes Collins, 2 away with a runner at third, and that'll bring up Matthew Dick, who has been productive in the middle of the order for the Aces. A pair of singles, 1 brought home a run in the first. He has scored twice. Another key spot in this game in the delivery. A couple of 2-out runs for the Aces have certainly helped their cause. Striking 0-1. Kind of look at the youngsters coming up for the Haymakers. Here's a swing and a little loop route to left center field. Out Maggio, and that ball lands between 3 defenders. Drops in for a base hit. Matthew Dick is 3 for 3 as Maggio came out. Mitchell and Verkota, and it dropped in between the trio. It's an RBI single for Matthew Dick. 7-2 in favor of the Aces. It looked like Maggio was taking charge on that one, and then I don't know if he was called off or if he was going to give way to either Verkota or Mitchell, but he peeled off at the last second. Ball inside to Ethan Vine. It's 1-0, and he peeled off, and it dropped right in between defenders A, B, and C. 7-2 Aces. And the pitch on the way. Called strike, and it's 1-1. The Aces, they don't hit for a ton of power, but boy, they rarely give up at bats. And the 1-1 of the pitch. A ball makes it 2-1. You go back, they had a combined 19 hits in the doubleheader against the Haymakers, but well, they really have good plate discipline. 2-1. Ground ball out to short. Maggio in the hole gets to it. He'll go the long way to first, and the throw in time. Got it by a step and a half to retire Ethan By. And the Aces are retired here in the fourth, not before they add another run as they own their biggest lead here of the afternoon. As for West Fargo, they pick up a run on a hit. No errors, and one left on. Through 4 here at Jack Williams Stadium in North Fargo. Class A East Region Legion Baseball Tournaments. The West Fargo Aces 7, Casselton 2. We're back with more in 60 seconds. Rademacher is out for the 5th inning. It's a 7-2 West Fargo Aces lead. They get Peterson for a run there as Matthew Dick 3 hits and a pair of runs batted in. One of the hitting stars for the Aces to this point. Rademacher hasn't pitched for a while. His last outing came on July 14th. Part of the Shields Invitational, which was hosted by West Fargo. Post 400. They had games here at Post 2 and also at Kindred against the Regina Buffaloes out of Saskatchewan. He pitched 1 inning, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Haymakers to bat. They will bring up hitters 8, 9, and 1, trailing by 5 here in the 5th. As Rademacher to Cale Pearson to start things off, and the pitch is on the inside corner for strike 1. Pearson a single in his first at bat. I think the Plains must be done for a while. Fouled out of play. We were treated to a little bit of an air show along with the ball game earlier this afternoon. 2 strikes the count. Peterson and Copperbig will follow. I bet they're not done yet. Stepping off is Rademacher. Pearson homered against Valley City back on July the 9th. A 13-6 win. Fouled off to the right now to play. And still 2 strikes the count. Aces out hitting the Haymakers 7-4. 3 Casselton errors in the field, and the miscues by the Haymakers have hurt a lot more than the miscues in the field from the Aces. And the 2-strike pitch. Ground ball in the hole. Backhanded deep short. Jet Collins throws on to first. Got him. Nice play. Stretch at first by Rederath, and a nice play backhanded in the hole by the shortstop Collins. And one away here in the 5th.
Now for that pitcher, number 9, Keegan Peterson.
Keegan Peterson hit into a fielder's choice. Came up with 2 on, 2 out in the second. And a ground ball to third that Wigestrand forced out the lead base runner in Verkota. Setting the pitch. Down and in for a ball. And you have the 16U teams. You have the Bombers and Bombers with Post 2, the Aces in West Fargo, and normally you have the Astros with Post 400. You always think younger guys is that extra year or two make a difference, and yes, talent's good no matter You know, whether you're 16 or 18, 2-0. I guess that's kind of one of the things to look at. Pitch was behind him and hit Keegan Peterson there, so Casselton is a one-out base runner. You've seen the Bombers and the Aces have success. As you know, check on Peterson. In fact, they might get a courtesy runner for him, and they will. Jack Everson will run it first for Peterson.
Courtesy runner, number 10, Jack Everson.
And top of the order now in Coppervig. Singled and scored in the first, popped to first in the third. And Sam was the lone class of 23 grad that made the cutoff. He's the only one that elected to play this year for the Haymakers. He goes to Valley City State and called strike. It's 0-1. Winner plays at 5 tomorrow versus the winner of the Jets in Wahpeton. Loser will play at noon with their season on the line tomorrow. And the winner of those loser out games tomorrow move into state qualifiers Saturday afternoon. Those will be played at noon and 2:30. Chopper out to short, out to Collins, boots it, picks it up, everybody safe. Was waiting for a hop, it skipped on him, and Coppervig is on. Third Aces error of the afternoon. 2 on, 1 out for Logan Broughton.
Now for that, number 8, right fielder, Logan Broughton.
Don't think they would have gotten 2. Certainly had a chance to take care of the lead runner, but that didn't go according to script. Here's Logan Broughton. Sacrifice fly. Brought home Coppervig in the first, reached on an air in the third, and scored on Maggio's double. Rademacher deals outside, and it's 1-0 the count. Quiet in the Aces bullpen for now. Shortstop Collins keeping an eye on that lead base runner. Courtesy runner in Jack Everson. Set the 1-0. Swing, roller to the right side. Played at second by Dick. Throw to first, pitcher covering, and just got it. Close play at first. Ranging over was Rederath, couldn't get it, so the pitcher had to go cover and got there just in time. As Dick onto Rademacher covering, gets brought by an eyelash at first. Everson to third, Coppervig to second, and it'll be up here for Ricardo Maggio to try and play 2-out bingo for the Haymakers. Fly to center, doubled to right center with a hit and run on. Broughton scored from first. Maggio got tagged out trying to stretch it into a triple back in the third. On field for the most part straight away, shallow. On the shallow end is O'Lean in right. And the delivery. Swing and a miss, strike one. And a base hit here could potentially make it a 7-4 game with a couple of swings left for the Haymakers. So no time like the present. Maggio trying to keep up his hot bat at the plate. And the 0-1. Off the end of the bat, looped into center, playable. Coming in a couple of steps as Zink drifts into right center, playing the wind and makes the catch. And the side is retired. Casselton threatens, does not score. Here in the top of the fifth inning, no runs on no hits. 1 Aces error and 2 stranded. As the Haymakers down here in the top of the fifth. We are through 4.5 from Jack Williams Stadium in North Fargo. The West Fargo Aces 7, Casselton 2. Game 1 of 4 today here at Jack Williams. We're back with more in 30 seconds on 103.9 The Truck. Season coverage brought to you by Aim Ag Drainage. Contact Andrew Frazee at Aim Ag Drainage. By Casselton Veterinary Service, Casselton and Fargo. By Bank North. By Kiefer Tree of Casselton. by Gordy's Travel Plaza off I-94 in Casselton and Mapleton. A great place to stop. And also brought to you by the Cass County Reporter, NordacPublishing.com. 7-2 in favor of the West Fargo Aces as they nicked Keegan Peterson for a run in the fourth inning as the Aces looking at the season series between in the four matchups. Aces sweeping Casselton. The Bombers swept Kindred. That's the 4-5 matchup. The Jets swept by Wapaton. I believe Devils Lake swept Valley City. I know they only had 3 losses, and Casselton got them one time. Start things here in the bottom of the fifth. It is the bottom of the order. Case and Nordic had to duck out of the way of the first delivery, and it is ball one. Nordic, Betker, and Wegestrand here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Ball inside again, and it's 2-0. Nordic struck out looking in the first against Mitchell on a sacrifice, was not charged with a time at bat in the third. Down low, 3-0 the count. Peterson gave up a walk and a single. His first inning of relief of starter Braden Mitchell, who lasted just over 70 pitches, 6 runs, but just 1 earned. And a 4-pitch walk is the 3-0 delivery high. 4 of the 5 innings the leadoff man has reached, and it took a throw out from right field to make that go 5 for 5. Max Zinker will run at first. He'll be the courtesy runner for Case and Nordic. Here's Noah Betker. A couple of runs batted in for Noah today. One on a single to left in the first. Another on a ground out to short in the third. The Aces 4 in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 more in the fourth. Called strike, and it's 0-1. Breezy afternoon, and I believe a block has been called. It has. Block called on Peterson. Let's see what exactly he did, and I think Keegan McShear's coming out, and I think he would like an explanation, saying he just didn't come set, apparently, or didn't come to a discernible stop. So 0-1. So at the bottom of the order here, as the Haymakers creeping in at first is Muckow, and the delivery, no sign of a bunt. And the pitch is high for a ball. 1-0 the count, and Pearson will walk the ball back to his pitcher, Keegan Peterson. That's a good moment here. Peterson, 26 grad, so he'll be a junior this coming year. And kind of look with all the, veterans that have, a lot of guys that graduated this year, Maggio, Boer, Verkota, Mitchell, Owen Cates, Jackson Parker, among others. You've got Pearson, who will be a senior this coming year. 1 ball, no strikes. And the delivery is outside, and it's 2-0 the count. Not competing with that. 2 balls, no strikes. In fact, Peterson just stepped off the rubber. He's waiting a moment here to say, you know what, we're going to let the Blue Angels do their thing here, and now I'll pitch. 2-0 the count. And the delivery, outside 3-0. Did they not get the memo that there is a baseball tournament going on, and this is very distracting for all parties involved? 3 balls, no strikes. Runner at second, nobody out here in the fifth. And the delivery, ball 4, high and away. So back-to-back free passes here in the fifth. Put runners at first and second, nobody out. 9 batter will be Ashton Wegestrand. Fly to right, reach in air. A slow roller out to Maggio, bobbled it, and the throw to first went wide. Scored a run in the third. See if he's bunting here. The Haymakers seem to think he might be. Bunt is on. Pops up the bunt, and that'll land towards the bottom of the netting, and a foul ball makes it strike 1. 1 strike to count. Bunt is on again, up and in. Buzz the tower there, and a fastball to Peterson, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. We look at next year and beyond for Casselton at the high school level and at the Legion level. This will be a young man that will log a lot of innings and was a big part of their Babe Ruth success last year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bunt is on again, and a ball came inside on the batter, bunted foul. Not sure if it must have came in on his hands, but he reacted like at least got a piece of him. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm going to check on Wigestrand here to make sure he's okay. Ball kind of came inside on him. He got the bunt down, but got him in the batter's box, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. I might just let you hear the air show. The game feels secondary at this point. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peterson checks the lead base runner and fouled away. That is Max Zinker, the courtesy runner at second base. Foul back, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch. Tried to drop one in at the knees, but a good take there by Wigestrand. 2-2. Zink as we'll flip it back to the top of the order. He is scheduled to hit next. Again, the Aces' plate discipline's been good. Put a lot of balls in play. It's amazing how much success you can have when you put the ball in play. Runner for second heads the third pitch inside, hits him, and that'll load him up with nobody out. Zinker got a running start from second. The pitch came in on Wigestrand. That'll fill him up here with nobody out in the 5th. And a chance perhaps here for the Aces to put off the finishing touches on this one. Mitch Shear will come out for a visit. This is just the first trip to the mound, so we'll see if he'll go to the pitching change here now, or if he will let the youngster try to battle through it, and we will have a new pitcher coming in. So Peterson, an inning plus, pitching to 3 batters and retiring none of them here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And a new pitcher coming in here for Casselton. So Peterson out, and looking to see, it might be 13. That's going to be Ryland Boder. So Boder is on to pitch here for the Haymakers. So an inning plus for Peterson. Gives up 3 walks, 1 hit, and so far a run. He's on the hook for 3 runners on base. And Ryland Boder is on to pitch here for the Haymakers. Pitching change break of the action. Bottom of the 5th. 3 on, nobody out for the Aces. They own a 7-2 lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And Boder is on to pitch here for Casselton, as that should be just a straight switch, so he will take the 9 spot in the batting order. It looks like it will be a straight switch defensively. So Keegan Peterson, who got nicked with a 2-out run in the 4th. Command wasn't there as he walked Nordic and Betker, and was up in the count on Wigestrand, but unable to finish off the batter, hit by the pitch, and the base is full here with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. So the Aces will flip it back to the top of the order here. A 7-2 advantage. And with the line not officially done here for Peterson, but 1 inning and facing 3 batters without retiring a 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Boder finishing up his tosses, and the rest of the defensive alignment will stay the same here for the Haymakers. Landon Zink reached on a two-base error, scored in the first, walked and scored in the second, flying to center in the eighth inning the third inning, I should say, hits for the fourth time. Again, it's been production up and down the lineup here for the Aces, in particular 5 and 6 batters between Dick and Bai, combining for 5 hits. Infield in for the Haymakers, not much choice. Down 5 here in the fifth, and the delivery is downstairs, ball 1. So Boder really seldom used in East Region play, for the most part as a reliever, as the Haymakers looking to kind of save some of their top guys for tomorrow. There's a swing line drive to right coming on. Broughton knocks it down, can't come up with it cleanly. A run is in. A second run will try to score as Betker is being waved home. He'll score. To third goes Wegestrand, and on to second goes Landon Zink. A single, and we'll see if they attach an error on to that. So a single and an error makes it now a 9-2 Aces lead. Is charging that ball, playing shallow was Broughton. Had to play up on that ball, check up on that ball, but it went away from him. Deflected to his left towards the line. So a single and an error 9. This will be 1 run batted in as Zanker's scoring. Now second and third, nobody out. It's a 9-2 game. And a called strike here to O'Lean, 0-1. So he should get 1 run batted in, second scoring on the air, and allow everybody else an extra base as well. 1 strike to O'Lean. Was out on a rare 9-3 scoring play outside, and it's 1-1. He had a line drive into right, which looked like was going to be down for a base hit. But Broughton playing shallow threw him out at first, as O'Lean 1 for 3 today with a run scored and has an RBI chance right now. 2-1 is the pitch low. Jet Collins on deck. So the Aces might be thinking we can go for the kill here. 9-2, 2 runners on, still nobody out, and a chance maybe to finish this up potentially early. Infield in again, called strike, and it is now 2-2 to O'Lean. So 8 hits now for the Aces. We have 5 different players with a base hit, and it is down low here. And a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So if you're Casselton, you start looking towards tomorrow with you have Parker available, you have Maggio available. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Popped up, fouling out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And again, just go back to their plate coverage, their discipline. They just do not give up at bats. Don't chase a lot of bad pitches. Pretty disciplined batting order. Outfield shallow throughout. Those south-southeast winds at 20 to 30 miles an hour. There's strike 3. Got him looking in the outside corner. The Boder his first strikeout. First out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's the 3rd strikeout for Haymakers pitching. Rademacher at 79 pitches through 5, by the way, as we'll bring up Jet Collins. Infield stays in for Casselton in the dirt. Knocked down nicely by Cale Pearson. And ball 1. Collins 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and a run batted in. Walked in the 4th, stole the base, and scored on Matthew Dick's bloop single into left center field. 4 errors now for Casselton with that boot in the field by Broughton. Fly ball to right field. Drifting back is Broughton. We'll see if they try and send the runner home. Wegestrand will tag, and then will scamper back to third base. Not deep enough for an advance there as Collins retired. 2 away on the 5th for Toby Rederath.
Now to bat, number 14, first baseman, Toby Rederath.
Rederath out pitcher to first in his last plate appearance, as he is 0 for 2 with a hit batsman at a stolen base. Infield back at normal depth with 2 down, and a drive down the right field line will go foul above the first base bullpens and out of play for strike 1. They have kind of permanent seating, kind of chair back benches from basically down each line, third, basically from dugout to dugout. Ball high makes it 1-1. And they've got those bleachers in the right field corner. Looks like Devil's Lake has set up shop over there as they wait for the next game against Valley City. 1-1 outside, and it's now 2 balls and 1 strike to Rederath. The Aces have left 5 on. 2 back in the first inning. And the 2-1 pitch. Popped up. Might be playable. Foul ground. Muckow and Pearson give chase. That one's up on the concourse, and 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. The only inning the Aces haven't scored was in the second, and they had second and third, nobody out. Kind of ran themselves out of that. A failed squeeze bunt turned into an out and returned away in the second. Otherwise, that has been it. They have clogged up the bases. A lot of traffic this afternoon. 8 hits. 4 errors helped out by the Haymakers as well. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, smothered again by Cale Pearson, who's earning his keep back there this afternoon. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 4 walks issued by Haymakers pitching. Couple of hit batsmen. Wegestrand is the responsibility of Peterson, so fouled away in 3 balls and 2 strikes. So far, 3 runs, 2 earned for Keegan Peterson, and again, he could be charged with 1 more as Wegestrand is responsible for third. Zink at second. As Boder, who gave up that hit to Zink, trying to limit the damage here if he can. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Matthew Dick, who has 3 hits, is on deck, but 2 out here in the 5th. 3-2 pitch inside, up and in, ball 4. That will refill the bases as Rederath reaches base for the second time. Base is full for Matthew Dick. 3 singles, 2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. That's a full day's worth, and he'll get 1 more chance here with the bases full. And 2 out. Rakota comes in at 3-4 steps in left center field and inside for ball 1. And shaded him the other way. He's hit the ball the other way a couple of times. The 1-0 pitch. Just missed outside. Ball 2. 2-0 the count. He has not gotten that outside corner as much as he probably needs to, does Ryland Boder. Boder will be a junior this fall, and the delivery is down low, and it's 3-0, and no place to put him here with 2 out in the 5th. Look at Boder, who will be class of 26. Keegan Peterson as well. 3 balls, no strikes. And these guys, a little bit of taste of tournament experience here. 3-1 on the delivery, and Matthew Dick takes all the way, striking at 3-1. 7th, make it the 8th batter of the inning here for the Aces. 3-1 pitch. It is a strike, full count. So you can start up the merry-go-round. Everybody can get a running start here with the bases full and 2 out. Wegestrand at third, Zink at second, and Rederath at first. Runners go. Swing and a foul tip held by Pearson for strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So a nice job to a little damage control there by Boder. But not before the Aces bat 8, score 2 more, and leave them full here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Through 5-9-2 in favor of the Aces over the Haymakers here in the Class A East Region Legion Baseball Tournament from North Fargo. We're back in 30 seconds. Rademacher out for the 6th inning. Close the book on Keegan Peterson, 1+ inning, pitched to 3 batters in the 5th. 1 hit, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 3 walks. He also hit 1 and did not strike out a batter. So Boder, a hit and a walk, but able to settle down and retire the final 3 that he faced. 3 of the final 4 did mix in a walk in there. 9-2 in favor of the Aces is pitch count here for Rademacher. 79 is the number through 5, so maybe perhaps one more inning in the books, maybe for him. 4, 5, and 6 in the order for the Haymakers. Braden Mitchell, 0 for 2, grounded to short in the 1st, flying to right in the 3rd. Not a lot of clean innings for Rademacher, but has gotten outs when he's needed them, striking at 0-1. A hit and a run in the 1st, an unearned run, 2 singles with 2 out in the 2nd, no damage done. The 0-1 delivery outside. And one thing he's done is he has kept Mitchell off the base paths. The top 3 have done the majority of the damage so far for the Haymakers today. The 1-1. In the air to center field, drifting out is the shortstop Collins. He will peel off and give way to Zink. Charging in shallow left center field as the wind again knocking those fly balls down today. Catch made, 1 out here in the 6th for Eli Boer. Started at left, he's now at 3rd for the Haymakers. Nothing for 2 today, popped to short of the 2nd. Struck out of the 4th. Just 1-1-2-3 inning for Rademacher. That came in the 4th inning. Strike at the belt, and it's 0-1. Four hits, and the Haymakers have not had a hit since Maggio's double in the 3rd. The 0-1 delivery. Chopper out to short. Collins has been busy. Plays it. Works his way near 2nd. Fires on the run in time. Round number 2. Out to that ball. Momentum carried him as he kind of shuffled his way right near the 2nd base bag and retires Boer. 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th. I'll bring up Noah Muckow. A couple of strikeouts for Muckow today. Swinging in the 2nd and likewise in the 4th. First pitch to him is flipped foul. Now the right field line and out of play for strike 1. So a nice stretch here for Rademacher. Retired 5 in a row, then gave up 2 base runners. He's retired 9 of the last 11. Ball inside, and it's 1-1. Again, they haven't been. He's given up base runners. They haven't been in bunches. It's been now 1 here, maybe a couple here. Again, when he's needed to get outs, he's been able to do so. Here's the 1-1. It is down and away, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count. Aces 9. Haymakers 2 here in the top of the 6th. This is the first game of 4 today, game 3 of the tournament from Jack Williams Stadium here in North Fargo. Ground ball out to short. Collins again, fields cleanly, sets, throws, and plenty of time to get Muckow at a 1-2-3 inning. So 5 in a row set down, 10 out of the last 12 for Rademacher, and we'll see if he does try to come out and finish what he starts in the 7th. 3 up, 3 down as we head to the bottom of the 6th through 5.5. West Fargo, the Aces 9, Casselton 2. We're back with more in 1 minute. Boder is out for the bottom of the sixth inning. 9-2 in favor of the West Fargo Aces. Brad Anderson here at Jack Williams Stadium in Fargo. Had the East Region tournament here. I want to say it was the COVID summer of 20, if I remember right. In fact, the Haymakers played the Aces that year. The Haymakers with a 9 seed. Aces with a top seed that year, and the Haymakers gave them a fight. It ended up 4-2, and the Haymakers had tying runs on base, and the game ended on what we thought was a sacrifice fly, but Casselton base runner left early and was called out for leaving early, trying to tag up from second base in that game. That's how it ended. The Haymakers ended up losing following day to Devil's Lake. I think that was the last time they've had the tournament here in 20. It was Kindred in 21, Casselton last year, Wahpeton in 22. Ethan Bide will lead things off. Couple of hits today so far for the DH. It's a ground ball played by Boer right at the bag at third, and on to first in plenty of time to retire Ethan Bide. And one pitch, one out here in the sixth. Singles in the first and third for Ethan. He scored in the third inning. That'll bring up Kason Nordic. Nordic has struck out, sacrificed, and walked, so 0 for 1. Was lifted for a courtesy runner who came around to score last inning. That one fouled up the third base line. That'll roll to the Haymakers dugout, third base way, and strike one. Again, everybody's kind of done their part here for the Aces on the lineup this afternoon. And the 0-1. Up and in, 1-1 the count. All 9 have, with the exception, all 9 have reached base. Wakest ran 0 for 2, but he was hit by a pitch, so all 9 have gotten on base in some way, shape, or form. And the 1-1 pitch. Shot wide of third and foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So if the score remains the same, and right now it looks to be a comfortable 9-2 lead for the Aces, they will move into the semifinals tomorrow at 5 versus the winner of the 5 p.m. game, 2-seeded Wahpeton and 7-seeded Fargo Jets. Little dribbler up the third base line. Going to be a tough play. Barehanded by Boder. Sets, throw to first, and out in time. It's an infield hit. You look up swinging butt in the baseball dictionary, and that would be Exhibit A right there. An infield hit for Nordic. Hit number 9 for the Aces, and he will be lifted for courtesy runner. Max Zinker will run it first. I'm not sure if there's a baseball dictionary, but he would be in there. Here's Betker. It's a baseball encyclopedia. Betker has reached base twice on a single and a walk. He's knocked in 2. Zinker goes, got a good jump, pitches a strike. Pearson's throw is wide and does work its way into center field, but backed up by Verkota. And Zinker, wasting no time, steals second. And strike 1 to Betker. Single to left, 2 out single. Knocked in a run of the first. RBI ground out to short in the third. Walked and came across the score in the fifth. The 0-1 down low. 1-1 the count. 9-2 Aces here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Aces 12-5 in East Region play. Got them the number 3 seed. Here's the delivery. Fouled off to the left out of play. Final standings, Devils Lake 15-3. Their losses were to Casselton, Wahpeton, and the Aces. Wahpeton 13-5. The Aces finished 12-5. The Bombers and Kindred 10-8. The Bombers swept Kindred. That's what got them the 4 seed. Otherwise, that was a push. Runner for second, heads for third, and no throw. Got a running start, and Betker getting his sprints in. He steals third. The ball makes it 2-2 as it missed down and away. Casselton, the 6 hole at 8-10. The Fargo Jets were 7-11. West Fargo Vets 6-11. They were expelled from the tournament last night. Valley City 6-12. The Post 400 Comets, who also were eliminated last night, 2-16. Their wins were over Kindred and the Aces, though. Beat the 3 and the 4 seed. Pitch is high, gets away from Pearson to the screen. And staying at third will be Zinker. It's ball 4 to Betker. And And that'll put runners on the corners here with one out as Boulder, second walk issued. Runners on the edges with one out for Ashton Wigestrand. Fly to right in the first, reached on an air in the third. Hit by a pitch against Keegan Peterson in the fifth. Again, there have been base runners all over the place for the Aces. They've scored 9 and they've left 8 on. That just shows you the amount of traffic there has been out there today. Throw to first and the runner back. Feels like the winds maybe let up a little. The flag, oh, now it's starting to pick up again. These winds expected to hang around basically through tomorrow. There's a strike. And one strike to Wigestrand. Look out in the outfield. They're retired numbers with post 2. Number 9, Roger Maris. Number 18, Chris Coast, former big leaguer, current manager of the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks. 0-1, runner from first goes. Pitch is a strike. They will throw it. It is cut off on the infield by Coppervig. And Becker safe at second. Stolen base. It is now 0-2 to Wigestrand. Number 19, Jake Labor, we lost way too soon. Former Fargo North, NDSU, and Redhawks standout. He's been gone, but I think close to 8 years now. The 0-2. Ground ball out to short. Runners stay put. Fielded cleanly by Maggio on to first in time. There's out number 2. With the infield in. Contact play was not on as Wigestrand retired. 2-away. Top of the order now in Landon Zink.
Now up to bat, number 10, center fielder, Landon Zink.
Number 20, retired, longtime coach Jerry Harder, and 22, Rick Helling. Had a nice big league career, won 20 games with the Rangers back in the late 90s, called strike and it's 0-1. Zink singled in a run. He's reached in an air, walked, fly to center, and singled in a run. There's an RBI chance here. Second and third, 2 out, bottom of the 6th, inside, nearly hit him. And it's 1-1. 9-2 in favor of the Aces, 3-seeded Aces. The 16U team out of West Fargo, and again, they have just the one Legion post. Here's a swing and a high drive to right. Broughton chasing, and they may have got him. It's over his head, and it's over the wall. It's a 3-run home run. Landon Zink through the wind, pulled one towards the line and over the right field wall. A 3-run homer, and that'll end it early as the Aces win it in 6 by a score of 12-2. That went up in the zone. Went over the head of Broughton and just clearing the right field fence. So Zink finishes with 4 runs batted in. 3-run shot does end it early, and the Aces will move into the semifinals tomorrow at 5. They'll face the winner of the Fargo Jets and Wahpeton. It'll be lunch for the Haymakers tomorrow at noon as they will face the loser of the Jets and Wahpeton and will need a win to get into a state qualifier coming up on Saturday. Final in 6. The West Fargo Aces win it on the 3-run homer from Landon Zink. The Aces 12, Casselton 2. Post game in 2 minutes.